Hello, this is Dr. Embody. Today we're going to solve a problem using lists. And here it is. I've written out a little question. This was a puzzler from Car Talk. We've seen one of these before. And the issue is, or the question is, what do these words have in common? Pig, table, cab, real, yet, and ride. So if you want to play along, you can hit pause now and try it out for yourself. So what, in fact, do these have in common? Well, let's take a look at cab. So we have the letter C, which is the third letter of the alphabet, and the letter A, which is the first letter in the alphabet, and the letter B, which is the second letter in the alphabet. And it turns out that 3 equals 1 plus 2. We can take a look at other words, such as table, which we have in there. And in this case, we have T, A, B, L, N, E, A being the first letter, B being the second letter, L being the 12th letter, E being the 5th letter. Add those up, and they add up to 20, which was, for T, the 20th letter. Now, okay, so now we know the solution to the puzzle. What might be a program that we could write? Well, one question is, are those the only words? Are there other words that have this characteristic? So let's change this problem is what words in the English language have this characteristic where the first letter, the value of the first letter adds up to the value of the rest of the letters. And how are we going to do this? Well, first thing we have to do is have some sort of an association between letters and numbers. And by that, I mean we need to say something like A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. That's the first letter, the second letter, the third letter, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and so on. So we need to build that create that association. All right, so that's one thing we have to do. Once we have that, then we have to get we have to make a list of words in the English language. Then once I have all the words, find the words that meet the criteria. So there's an outline of our problem. Let's start with the first part, which is to make an association between letters and numbers. Now it turns out there's a string module, and if we look at the string module, by typing help, we get all sorts of functions that are involved there, but in particular we get the lowercase letters. And I'll use the string one. I could just type out a string, but I might make a mistake in typing. So let's use string.ascii lowercase, and that is all those letters. Now, one of the things that we can do is we can now take that string and index it. Let's look at the letter B. Now, the index of B is 1 because our counting started at 0, and yet in the rest of the world, counting starts at 1, so B is associated with the number 2. So we're off by 1. Let's fix that. So let's make a new string, letters, and let's put a space at the beginning of it. So now my letters has a space at the beginning of it, and I can take letters.index of B, and now we find out that we get the letter 2 that is what we're interested in. So let's put that into our program. Now, how do we make a list of words in the English language? while there are lists of words that can be found on the internet, we collected a list and we put it in a file called dictionary.txt. So let's read that in. Now we want to make a list of words. So we start out with it empty, and then we'll keep adding on to it. And let's take a look at the beginning of the word list that we have. Let's say, take a look at the first 20. So what do we notice? Well, first of all, each one of these has a \n. That's a carriage return at the end. The other thing we notice is that there's a bunch of abbreviations, which will not be very interesting. And we also might not want to have proper names. That might be a less interesting thing. So we need to clean up our file, and so let's clean this up a little bit. We can get rid of the carriage returns with the strip, which strips out the white space. And if we want the short words, or if we want to eliminate the short words, let's only keep ones that are, if the length of the word is greater than 2, then let's append it on. Now let's try this out. So we've done a little bit better here, and I've gotten rid of the carriage returns, and now I have some longer words.